During this Scorpio Moon transit over the next 3 days, we have many, many opportunities to learn exactly how criticism is actually incredibly nourishing. Criticism being a Scorpio archetype, and of course, the sun in Cancer, which is a fellow water sign, being the nurturing archetype. This is the exact dynamic of where you can be incisive and be strategic, and how that type of planning actually allows growth. In fact, it doesn't just allow growth, it is the way that growth happens, right? Through a type of strategy that sometimes can be dark and cutting and otherwise secretive in some way. Now, I'm getting all of this because, of course, the moon is traveling through, as I said, fellow water sign to the sun in Cancer currently. As the moon travels through this sign of Scorpio, it will square Pluto in Aquarius. It will also trine the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction that is nearing later this week. On Friday, that trine will happen. So there's just opportunity after opportunity for each of us to really push up against a powerful system, which is Pluto and Aquarius, and really deepen in the trust, which is a Scorpio word, deepen in the trust that we have for our own mind. That's the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction that is happening. Even though Mercury is slowing down, Jupiter will switch signs really very soon, really even, June 30th, right around this Capricorn full moon. There's so much growth happening this week from Wednesday to, let's say, midday on Friday with this Scorpio moon. So I really want to encourage you to not shy away from the depths at this time. In particular, this trine that's just perfected between the sun and the moon. This is the first quarter trine that happens in the lunar cycle, which means that this is the first moment of opportunity that we are getting since the new moon that happened last week. That was in the sign of Gemini. Okay, so that Gemini new moon means we are starting to communicate something differently. And so this trine between the sun and the moon right now says there's an opportunity to communicate something strategically in Scorpio that very likely nurtures us, very likely is supportive of some emotional process with that sun in Cancer. So really allow yourself to expand and push over these next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and halfway into Friday with that Scorpio moon. If you're interested now, I'm going to pull up the chart and walk us through some more specific dynamics, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So please get a reading with me. If you'd like, go book at my website, linked below. I'm here for you guys, so please come talk to me about this stuff. Let's look. Here we have this present moment, which is Wednesday in New York, and we see that, and please, obviously change for your time zone, but the moon is newly into Scorpio, making this trine to the sun. As it's making a trine to the sun, it's squaring Pluto right here. And it's also just come off of this opposition from this new Chiron in Taurus. I really see this moon in Scorpio as we are really deeply investing in something emotionally right now because we have the emotional support to do so. Okay, it's coming around the same time as Venus is making her trine to Saturn, which is again an incredible amount of support. The moon over the next few days will also square that same Venus as she is trining Saturn. Let's see here. Tomorrow into Thursday, we see the moon squaring Venus. Venus is past her trine by this point, but still there is the semblance of this interesting configuration happening, which basically says we are not really not taking no for an answer, and we have an opportunity to commit to something creatively within ourselves. But whatever that is, whatever that creative commitment is probably something we have to invest in. And that means a Scorpio investment, something we need to put our skin in the game for better or for worse. And that's just the dynamic. Okay. So into Thursday, we have, it's really just that Venus Saturn trine. And then into Friday, which is the last day of the Scorpio moon, we see it's really at the end. That moon will oppose Mars, which means we are acting even more. We are feeling like we need to share whatever this strategy is within a relationship of someone who can really help us push it forward materially. So, really, and it's really at that same time that the moon is trining Mercury-Jupiter right here, you see? So, wow, what an incredible next 3 days we have to really trust something deep. Okay, now I personally am someone who does shy away from darkness, let's say. For example, I don't have really any Scorpio in my chart. My North Node's in the eighth house in Libra. But I'm learning. One of my big lessons in this life is learning about secrets, learning how to hold things, learning to be strategic about my diplomatic efforts, about my personal preferences, about my relationships. And I think that this is an enormous moment to understand that way of living, whether it's about spirituality or about something occult or about something mystical that you have to be initiated into. These are all scorpionic things. There is a biological reason for it. There is a matrilineal reason for it. And that is represented by the sun in Cancer right now, which is ruled by that Scorpio moon nonetheless, okay? So I just wanted to encourage you to keep pushing maybe a few steps beyond what might feel comfortable right now, or you might be feeling like you're too nice to do something, but keep investigating. Scorpio is an incredibly investigative sign and ruled by that same Pluto in Aquarius it's squaring right now. There is a social investigation that wants to happen. And there is a deeply creative, legitimate reason to make this investigation for your own personal growth with the sun in Cancer. So that is what I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you're resonating. Maybe don't tell me all your secrets or anything, but I think this dynamic of how to be strategic, how to use criticism constructively, how to move through darkness and still feel solid and stable is one of the most important lessons. And I think this is one that we are learning today. Just these archetypes tell this story quite clearly. And I think this is lessons for any any aspect pattern, any birth chart. As I say in many of my videos, I don't believe we are our charts. We are not beholden to our aspects. We are stronger than all of it. And it's completely up to us. It is completely up to us. And we have so much more power than we think and that we realize. So, yeah, that's what I have. If you're an artist, there's still some space in my workshop this weekend. So you can check out the link to that description below if you're interested. And until the next one, guys, bye. Bye, bye, bye for now.